you may know that the United Nations itself never has any independent evaluation of the results of their activities. They simply write a World Drug Report which is filled with positive things, and then a few things they mention. Last year, that is already last year, it was admitted that international drug policy has serious negative consequences, and they call these consequences then unintended consequences. And from our side, the response then has been, of course, you can call it unintended, but when it goes on for so long, how can you still say it is unintended? And on the other hand, what are the positive results? We don't see any positive results. So if there were an evaluation, then you must balance the positive effects against the negative effects. But we see no positive effects of international so-called drug control, and we see only very large and very serious negative effects, and they themselves try to escape from that conclusion simply by never having an evaluation. And on that point, it's important to know that the European Commission has ordered an evaluation already they started to do that in 2008, and the report that was published there was just before last year's Commission on Narcotic Drugs, and it received, well, practically no attention in the media, and so there was a big chance that nothing would happen with this report. It's called officially, I must have the name, is a Report on Global Illicit Drug Markets, drug markets 1998 until 2007. And it was paid for by the European Commission, and edited by two respected scientists, Peter Reuter from the United States and Frans Trautmann from the Netherlands, and a whole list of European and scientists from other countries. And the conclusions, well, you can make a list of conclusions, but the most important conclusion, if you make a summary of it, is that there has been no positive effect of all these drug control efforts. And on the other hand, there has been an enormous amount of harm done to the world as a whole. ENCOD went to the European Commission about a half year ago and asked what is going to happen with this report. And they said to us, on the one hand, they were glad that at last some organization was paying attention to the report, but they said it was not up to them, it's up to the member states of the European Union. And so now our goal is to get this moving in some way. But it's true that, and that's the same problem here in Vienna, of course, that what they're doing here is mostly, or is almost exclusively on the executive part of the work, but the political decisions are still being made by the countries and in groups of countries that come together. And it's very hard to find out a way to influence that. And you could even say it's sort of a catch-22. Maybe you still know it's a movie of some time ago, but it's a name of the whole bureaucratic way in which you go from here to there, and then it doesn't work there, you have to go somewhere else, and that's impossible, and you come back here, and in the end it becomes clear that it will never work. And so if we, from my experience in Holland, if we want to do something that is, from our point of view, is the next normal step in the development of our own policy, and then I'm talking of marijuana, cannabis, and the coffee shops, the normal thing to do in the Dutch situation. We have these coffee shops now for more than 30 years. Cannabis can be sold to every citizen over 18 years. The levels of drug use and of cannabis use in the Netherlands are around the European average. So that has been going on for more than 30 years now. So it's clear that this de facto decriminalization has had no negative effect on the situation as to the use of cannabis. So the next step should be to regulate the whole thing and to make it a legal market. Yeah, but then they say that's impossible because of Europe, and it's impossible because of the United Nations. And if we go to Europe, to the European Commission, they say, yeah, well, you have to be in your own country. You have to get this on the political agenda in your own country. And the same happens here in the United Nations. So what you mentioned already, one of the ways that it may change is by simply showing that these international drug conventions are totally out of date and that they have no meaning scientifically. They never had them, but in the beginning that was not, it was not possible to prove that. In the beginning people believed that if you prohibited the substances and you put a lot of police work on it and you threw people in jails and whatever, that then people would stop using these drugs. But it's clear now that it does not work that way, that a large percentage of the people all over the world, it's different in every country, but a large percentage of people go on to use the drugs of their choice, whether they're legal or illegal. And that the only sensible way is to have a more soft approach where the government can discourage the use, the government should give good information, there should be prevention programs, and of course people with serious problems should be able to get treatment. But to go on with the prohibitive side of it is a waste of money and a waste of human life and a waste of, well, it's nothing but waste. And that is the point, how to get that on the political agenda. I can better stop here now, you know, you can talk on about this for very long, but that's where we are, this question, to get the issue of regulation of the still illicit drugs on the political agenda, because everything we know shows that that is the better approach. Thank you.